Welcome everybody. It's Saturday. No work today. It's one day that I take off, but I still gotta do my coffee time. I'm drinking it anyway, right? I just performed a real life Jedi mind trick for my son. I'm gonna teach you how to do it too, because it is kind of like the initial thing to practice in order to start creating a life that you ultimately want. For me, I've created a phenomenal life with an incredible marriage, with an amazing relationship with my son, getting to travel the world, live on the beach, and I'm a guy from Nebraska. Um, so for a guy, sorry, I'm gonna be squinting a little bit because it's very bright out here. But I want you to be able to see the windows of my soul. All right, I'm gonna keep. I keep looking at myself. So handsome. I'm gonna try and look at you. Okay, the little fleck on my pixel that indicates the camera. Yeah. So and this is basically what I've done. But if you could practice it on a small scale, then you can get good at it. And then you can start taking things a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. My son, he comes to me. My son is obsessed with Lego. If you haven't read yet my blog about his obsession with Lego, go to my website, Danny Zuha, DannyZoucha.com. I should turn that into a jingle so you guys can remember it. Zoucha, Danny Zuha, all the way. Done. Zoucha. Nice, it's catchy. Okay, so if you haven't read that, go ahead and check it out because it's going to be like one of the top ones on my blog. At least at the time of the making of this film, it's near the top. And I got a brand new spanking flashy dash website that I want everybody to check out too. It's really, really cool. Love it. Love the whole new setup. Anyway, he's obsessed with Lego. We literally travel the world with his Lego. We actually had to leave some of it behind. We left behind about a third of it, and we still packed full an entire checked luggage size bag that was just his Lego. Just Lego. When we came over to America, some people might say, why would you do that? Well, it's his life. He's obsessed with it. It's how he keeps himself occupied most of the time. It's how he learns everything from, and through his obsession with this, it's now become an obsession with Star Wars. Even though he's never seen the movies, he's become obsessed with them. So I am reading the novels that were created about the movie to him, and this comes into the video a little bit. But he's taught himself everything. He's taught himself how to read, from reading the Lego Star Wars books. He teaches himself math. He knows, how many pieces need to get from here to here. It's really incredible the way children actually learn. For those of you who are interested in the Jedi mind trick, I will now tell you. We're at that point in the story where Boba Fett has been commissioned by Darth Vader to bring back Han Solo, bounty hunter, right? So Jesse is making this scene out of his people, and he needed these little 2Z flat pieces, teeny tiny little things, little, that are money. It's like a little 2 flat piece. Anybody who knows Lego knows what I'm talking about, but it's like a dollar bill, okay? But very, very small in the grand scheme of things. Very, very small. So finding that kind of thing in his bag, because it's still in the checked luggage bag, because it's just easier to carry around then. When we go from Airbnb to Airbnb, we just keep it in there mostly. Strews it around all over the floor. So finding it in there is kind of a challenge. At least everything's connected. At least everything's in the one area. Most everything. So he says, I need one more of these things. And I said, I bet you I could find you 4. Because he wanted 6, and I thought I could get him up to 9. And he already had 5. So I'll get you up to 9. And the Jedi mind trick is to envision what it is that you want, basically to the exclusion of all else, to devote all of your energy to this vision, to finding this vision. So here I am, scraping through. Now here's the thing, they don't just fly out at you. You actually have to take an action and go looking for them, okay? This might seem really simplistic, but it's actually not, because what you're doing is you are attracting them to you, and eventually they will come flying out at you, because they will get in the right spot with the right hand, with the, like, you will just laser in on it. Everything else will become like, it's like goes black and white, and all you can see are those little green pieces with the little dollar signs on them. And I do this all the time. When he wants me to help him find Lego, I do it all the time. I focus on what it is that I want, and often he will need many of the same pieces. So he'll say, I need like 18 of these things. And I said, okay, well, let's go looking. And I will focus and focus and focus, and nothing happens for probably the first couple of minutes, but then it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like, and this is, you know, there's a lot of different components to this, and that I won't get into because it's really just immaterial. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why it works. The simple fact is that it works. So I thought to myself while I'm doing this, and I just want to make it clear that they didn't just come flying out of me. I actually had to put in work. And you know what? You know how in a suitcase there's like 2 bars in the middle that kind of keep it rigid? So you've got essentially 3 kind of compartments down the base of this, of your bag. So I used those as kind of channels, and I sorted everything away. I stacked the deck in my favor, sorted away the big pieces, and then went looking through the little pieces, and I was finding them. Boom, boom, boom. But sometimes I would go, you know, a fair long stretch and get all the way to the end and find nothing. So what would I do? Do you give up because you haven't found it yet? No, you keep going, and you keep filtering, keep searching, keep searching, keep searching. All the while you maintain this vision of what it is that you want. So you put in the work, you stack the deck in your favor. If it doesn't come quick enough, you have patience like a Jedi. Yoda's big thing with Luke was patience. 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 That's why Luke left Dagobah to begin with. Because lack of patience. So you have patience, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and eventually things will just, whatever you're after, whatever you've been focusing on, it will flood in, and you'll wonder, you know, how you ever went without all of these pieces before. It's like, you know, where was it hiding all this time? And the fact is, it wasn't hiding anywhere. It was right there. You just hadn't been looking for it in a focused enough way. Okay, so I thought I'd come out and I'd make a video telling you how to do that, because that's something small. You can pick something small, and you can determine yourself to go looking for it, to see it, and you see it everywhere. So what's something that you want? I have spent my life looking for an ideal relationship with my wife. I have spent my life looking for a relationship where I have sex all the time. Like, not like crazy, like nymphomaniac sex, just really, really satisfying sex. Lots. Like, there's a lot of sex in my life. With the one person, it keeps getting better too. So there's a tip, pro tip. I went looking for a phenomenal relationship with my son. I went looking for a life where I traveled a lot. A boy from Nebraska, grew up in the middle of a cornfield, literally in the middle of a cornfield, in a double-wide trailer, planted in the middle of a cornfield. That's where I lived. That's where I grew up, in the middle of basically nowhere. What are you? Christmas people. If it's not Christmas time, buddy, go. Sorry, I had to see that. I went looking for an Australian, you know, this Australian adventure that I've been on for the past decade. Found a wife who, you know, met the criteria. I went looking. I've gone looking. Now I'm looking for something else, and I won't tell you what that is, because it's, you know, between me and me and the universe, me and God. But I'll get it, and you can do it too. And it's weird how quickly things will start to happen, because if you are not in the habit of doing this, then you will you experience such a quick uptake in skill of this little skill, of this ability, you will really surprise yourself. So pick something. What do you want? What do you want to go looking for? Do you want a great relationship with your wife? Do you want a great relationship with your child? Do you want lots of, really just like mouth-watering good sex? Do you want more money? Do you want a newer car? Do you want a better house? Here's the thing, you got to focus on it basically to the exclusion of all else. Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows. Carol Tuttle says, focused energy creates. And I'm sure both of them, that is a borrowed theology from somebody. Somebody somewhere came up with it. But it's really, really true. Distraction is a killer when using the Force, as in it will kill you. It was when Luke was training with Yoda. You got those two balls that are floating in front of him, coming at him, firing lasers and stuff. It was when he released all distraction and became one with the Force, focused on the Force. He wanted the ability to move with the Force and just flow, right? And he had to get rid of all the distractions. He had to get rid of the distractions. So it's a really cool party trick, to be able to. And I know I could keep going. He's got heaps of Lego. I could find him 15 more of those things. Really increase the bounty. You know what I mean? So just bear that in mind. Whatever it is, whatever you think you want in life, if you don't have it yet, perhaps you're not focusing on it. Perhaps you're not envisioning it. Perhaps you're not looking for it to the exclusion of basically everything else. If it happens to be relationships, like in your immediate family, you want a better relationship with your partner, spouse, long-term committed partner, whatever. If you want a better relationship with your child, if you want, more sex, better sex with that person, that one person, I've got a really cool checklist that's available on my website. Again, Danny, Zoucha, Danny Zuha, all the way. You're going to be singing that for the rest of your life. Go and check it out. It's free. I put it together. 21 steps. These are all the things that I do in order to get that reality in my life. And let me tell you, it puts me on such a high. Having these 21 steps to the Happy Marriage Hot Sex checklist. Boom. Like easy. But it's not just that. It's also the happy family. Because I have a great relationship with my son. And when I've got those things right, like I spent from 20s to 30s focusing on that. Like I had a job and stuff, but I was focusing on that, and that has given me such a solid foundation to now, in my 30s, 40s, from 30 to 40, to be focusing on business. And I know that I'm just on. I've got such a great jumping off point because of my stable foundation. So if you want some of that, check out my website. What's the jingle again, people? Danny, Z-O, and we say Z in Australia, but you can say Z. Danny, Z-O-U-C-H-A, Danny Zuha all the way.